Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new vlog. So it is Wednesday the 23rd. I have today off of work, so I'm actually going to be heading to the mall, which is just right getting everything in. I'm gonna hit up Bath and Body Works because we need wall plugins because one of our bathrooms does not have a fan in it, so we get wall plugins so that way it smells nicer in there, plus just in general for the house. And then I also want to hit up Barnes & Noble because I have no chill, and obviously I want to go to Barnes & Noble because I always want to go to Barnes & Noble. So I don't really have a list of books in mind or anything like that, but I'm also going to be filming 2 videos today, and the cat's making noise downstairs, so I'm gonna have to go check that out. On the other hand, how far am I? I've been listening to the audiobook for Dracula by Bram Stoker. I am 71% of the way through the audiobook. I have 2.5 hours left because I listened to it at 1.8 speed. I'm still enjoying it. It's still a good book. My stand center from the last video is still there. It's good, especially knowing that it was written in the late 1800s and knowing that at the time people didn't know the stereotypes about vampires that we do know now. So it's kind of interesting to think about that in the way of this is how much old literature still affects us now. So I think that's interesting. I do plan on finishing this today. I think I'm going to move on to The Last Word by Taylor Adams afterwards. I do need to read some library books, but I'm really just feeling not right. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of meh about it. I tried to do some reading last night, but I just was not feeling it. For any of you who watched my vlog from last week early, I did have to take down part of a clip. I did clip it out, but there was a clip of us watching the original Batman, and I had to take that down for copyright. So, oops. But otherwise, honestly, things are going pretty good. I'm tired. We slept in today. I do need to do a workout at some point. Usually I do them in the morning because I feel weird not doing them in the morning, so I don't know what we're gonna do. But yeah, so I'm gonna go get ready. I'm in my, oh, you can't see, I'm in a Star Wars shirt. I'm in the I have Red Squadron Starfighter Corps shirt that I'm kind of obsessed with. This thing. It's really comfortable. But it's very bright outside. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to go feed the cat lunch, and then I'm going to head out. So, yeah. Welcome back to the vlog. I feel very basic. I've got a matcha boba tea, which was actually really good. So if you're around and you find this shop, their donuts are friggin' delicious. And the boba tea that they have, at least this one is good. It's the only one I've had, but I really liked it. Right. But let's do a haul. Well, let's do a quick little update first. I'm almost done. I have an hour left of this audiobook, so like, I don't even know how many pages, but it's not that long left. So I'm very excited. I think it'll be good. If I'm correct, I'm on about chapter 25, so we'll see. It's still good. I still enjoy this story. And honestly, like, as I'm listening to it more, I'm realizing is like there are 2 very competent characters in this book, and it is Van Helsing and it is Mina. Like, she is honestly, the smartest of the group. The most logical person in this book. Like, she just is. I really like her. Anyways, yes, you have this one, but honestly, let's be honest, if any of us faced a vampire, I would be kind of terrified. I'm not even gonna lie. Anyways, we're gonna move on. And I did go to Bath & Body Works. They were having a sale. I didn't get candles, even though they had their Halloween collection there. I also didn't film because I was the only one in the shop on a Wednesday at like 11 o'clock, which is fair. But they were having a sale on wallflowers. You could get 5 for the price of 4. So I got 5 because we go through them. And so I picked up the Comfort Vanilla and Patchouli, something like that. I got Marshmallow Fireside. You're not gonna focus, are you? There we go, Marshmallow Fireside. I got Champagne, Apple, and Honey. I got... I'm excited about this one. Mahogany Apple. I think this one will be really nice. And then the last one I did pick up a fall scented one. I picked up the Caramel Pumpkin Swirl. So I'm probably going to end up putting the marshmallow into our bathroom right now, or actually maybe the vanilla for now, just because it's August, but I'd like it to smell nice. Like, it's just kind of a thing. Oh, okay. Alright, but what y'all really want, I know, is my book haul that I did. So, I didn't buy a lot. I did, but I actually paid under $100 for all of these. And if you do get the new Barnes & Noble membership, it does end up being worth it. Like, I have enough points that I'm going to get $5 off next time I go in. But I got 2 romances, 2 thrillers, and 2 mysteries. That's kind of where I've been lately, which is weird because I'm normally a fantasy girly, and I did not find a fantasy book I wanted today, which was still very weird for me. So I'm still trying to figure out about where I am as far as reading goes, and I'm not sure I'm having any luck, which is unfortunate. But I got The Swell by Allie Reynolds. This is the story of surfers who basically will do anything, including kill each other, in order to get the best wave. And it's kind of, it sounds almost petty, but it also sounds really intense. So basically it's about a girl who, her friend is starting to date this group of really intense surfers, and they go to an island in Australia, I believe, to a remote Australian beach, entering a dangerous world where the waves, weather, and tides are all that matters. Meeting the reclusive group that will do anything to keep their surf spot a secret. So that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I also really liked this cover. It's so pretty and intriguing. The other thriller that I got is Alias Emma by Ava Glass. This, I think, it sounds like it's the start of a series, but it's about a newly minted secret agent named Emma Makepeace. Alright, I'm just gonna read the back. A newly minted secret agent, Emma Makepeace, has barely graduated from basic training when she gets the call for her first major assignment: transport an important asset, the handsome prince of Russian dissidents, across London without being spotted or killed. With London's famous Ring of Steel hacked by the Russian government, the two must cross the city without being seen by the hundreds of thousands of CCTV cameras that document every inch of the city's streets. Buses, subways, cars, and trains are all out of the question. Traveling on foot and operating without phones or bank cards, which could reveal their location, they have 12 hours to make it to safety. This will take all of Emma's skills of disguise and subterfuge, and just one wrong move will get her and her charge killed. I don't know, like, that kind of sounds like slightly James Bond, but also like Bourne Identity to me, which has my attention. I'm very curious, and it's not a long book, so I think this is going to be like an afternoon read, and I'm so excited for it. I might actually read it soon. Alright, now for the romance. I picked up Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. I saw, I don't remember who I saw. I saw someone on YouTube who read this and she said this is perfect if you love true crime podcasts, if you binge them, and I do, I really do. She talked about how this is someone who gets paranoid about all the things that she hears about who is the serial killer and how they hide in plain sight and stuff like that, so I'm really curious about this one. Here you go. One woman is going to have to learn how to give love a chance when she's used to suspecting the worst in this fresh romantic comedy. So it's a little bit longer. It is supposedly a romantic comedy is what it just said. So I'm curious. It's a little over 300 pages. I've had my eye on this for quite a while, honestly. It just sounds like so much fun. Alright, and I also picked up The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton. This is the first book in the series where I have the second one already. It's here somewhere. I have the second one. I thought that the second one was the first one, and I realized I needed to actually pick up the first one. I'm pretty sure this is the first one. So, yes. This is a prim and proper lady thief must save her aunt from a crazed pirate and his dangerously charming henchman in this fantastical historical romance. I found that I don't mind historical romance, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm curious. I now have the first two books in this series, so there we go. Third one I think just came out because I did see a third book in this series. I did not pick it up though. I'm wondering if I picked up the wrong one. Anyways, the last two books I have are technically mystery/thrillers. First one is How to Kill Men and Get Away with It by Katie Brent. This, here. Meet Kitty Collins, friend, lover, killer. He was following me, that guy from the nightclub who wouldn't leave me alone. I hadn't intended to kill him, of course, but I wasn't sorry when I did, and despite the mess I made, I appeared to get away with it. That's where my addiction started. I've got a taste for revenge, and quite frankly, I'm killing it. A deliciously dark, hilariously twisted story about friendship, love, and murder. I'm sorry, I'm sorry I'm like this, but I felt the need to try this one out. Also, I really like this cover. I don't know why, it's fun. It's so much fun. Alright. And then the last one I picked up is another one I've seen quite a bit, and that is A Death in Door County by Annalise Ryan. This is the first of a new series, and here's the brief summary is a Wisconsin bookstore owner and cryptozoologist is asked to investigate a series of deaths that just might be proof of a fabled lake monster in this first installment of a new mystery series. Cryptozoology is the study of cryptoids, or the mythical creatures, like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, all of that. So I'm curious. I think it sounds like fun. I think cryptozoology is interesting. I think it's a lot of fun to read about, so... Murder! And monsters! Woohoo! So yes, this is my haul. This is what I got. No real theme to it, but I did notice my romance books are taller than the other four. I'm curious as to why romance books are they just printed taller? Is that a thing? I don't know. But, yes, so that's my haul. I'm going to finish doing some laundry and do some cleaning up and hopefully finish my audiobook, because Callie just informed me, well, like an hour or two ago, that the creators of Poppy Playtime have made a podcast. There's 2 episodes. Both are 30 minutes long, and the second one was written by Super Horror Bro, and I must listen. I must listen to these. I'm so intrigued. So I feel like I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things. I was really out of it for a while. Cat's meowing. Lana? No? Okay. Yeah? Okay, hi. What? But then I also need to figure out how to put these books on my shelves that I have literally just reorganized. Yeah, that's about how I feel too. Alright. I'm gonna go. And I will talk to you guys later. I've changed clothes. It's hot. It's actually I think it's actually almost 100 degrees here, which we're just not used to in Wisconsin. So yes, it's a hot day. So I'm in a tank top. But I finished a book. I finished Dracula by Bram Stoker. You heard a lot of my thoughts in my last vlog about this one. And those thoughts really haven't changed. I still think that for the time that this was written, I think this was actually, honestly, a little bit progressive. One of our main female characters, Mina, is really the backbone behind this group of men that are hunting Dracula. If it wasn't for her, they wouldn't have figured out a lot of the things, and they acknowledge it as even the more interesting part of it. So I get it. It was written in 1890. Is it dated? Yes, it really is, because it was written over 100 years ago. It was written like 30 years ago, something like that. Like, that's a long time ago. A lot of things have changed in that time. But this book was still creepy. And going into this book knowing that, but also knowing that when this book came out, they didn't know about vampires. Well, they knew about vampires, but they didn't have the bat thing with vampires. They didn't realize that vampires were bats. When they could fly around, they could do that. And so the confusion and the ignorance of the men can be excused, because that's not a common knowledge thing of the time. It is in our time, but at the time in the 1890s, that was not a common knowledge thing. So I think that's very interesting. And something that should be taken into consideration. I also, the first time I actually read this book, like sat down and read it, was in undergraduate, was in college, and it was because I ended up taking a class called Monsters, Myths, and Movies, where we read the three original monster stories. We read Dracula, Frankenstein, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We read the original books, we read modern day retellings, and then we watched original movies, and then watched the retellings, and we compared and contrasted all four of them and had full discussions on them for a full month. It was great. I loved that class. I learned so much in that class, and I really, really enjoyed it. So this was actually kind of a flashback to that, and I was able to think back on why is it that this is such a historical book and such a historical thing. And it really is, and I really could go on and on about it, but I think that this was probably one of the first steps in making horror, like novels and such, because it's so unique, especially for the time. It's so different from what everybody else would have been reading. It's so different and so much. It's honestly, it is an adventure story to a point. It is written in diary entries and in letters and in journals. So that is how it is written. It is written in found footage, basically, but the earliest form of it. So I think that this is a book that if you can remind yourself while you're reading it, this was written in 1890, not 1990, 1890, that these were the common thoughts of the time, and you can remind yourself that they didn't know a lot of stuff about vampires. I think people would enjoy this book. I really do. I understand not everybody can do that. I get it. That's kind of the way we are. But I think that it is a great story, and also this copy is just beautiful. I am kind of in love with it. So yes, I read a book. I finished it, and I do talk about it quite a bit, but it's because I have feelings on this, because I took a whole class on this book, so there we go. I will be jumping into, I think, The Last Word by Taylor Adams next, because I'm very curious about this one. I'm very intrigued by it, but I just filmed a couple videos. I'm going to edit one. I have to make a phone call, which I'm not looking forward to. I don't like phone calls, as I've said before. And I do need to eat something. I haven't actually had lunch yet, so I need to do that. But I got out of the house. I left. You saw it. Kind of. I went and got a donut and boba tea. I went to Barnes & Noble. I went to Bed Bath & Beyond? Yes. I always get them confused. Bath & Body Works is where I went. I went to Bath & Body Works. I get them confused. But yeah, I have not written a word today. That's okay. I did finish a book, though, today, so I'm happy with that progress. But I'm gonna go do adulting stuff, so bye. It is Friday the 25th, and I have a couple updates. First off, I got a couple textbooks in the mail, so grad school stuff continues. The first one I got was the Currents of Archival Thinking, volume, second edition. There we go. So that's another textbook. That's textbook number 2. Textbook number 3, Statistical Methods for the Information Professional. A practical, painless approach to understanding, using, and interpreting statistics. I have a very love-hate relationship. Actually, I have a very hate relationship with statistics. When I was in high school, I was supposed to take calculus my senior year, and then with the schedule that I had, because of other classes I was in, there wasn't a calculus class open, so I was put in AP Statistics, and I had no idea what anyone was talking about the entire time. So statistics and I don't really get along. So we'll see how this goes. I have one more textbook coming. I think it's on its way. But I have one more coming. So, yeah. 4 textbooks for 2 classes. That's more than I've had so far. But we'll see what happens. But yes. Oh, updates. I started reading The Opportunist. Right? I think that's how you say it. Hold on. How do you say it? I started a new book today. It was not the one I was planning on starting. Yeah, I started The Opportunist by Elise Friedman. This is interesting. I'm enjoying it so far. It's not a long book. It's only like 250 pages, but I had 15 minutes to start it, so I started it, and I was enjoying it. A contemporary thriller mystery that follows Alana, whose 76-year-old father starts dating his 28-year-old nurse. And she really could care less. She's excommunicated herself from the family, but her 2 brothers are, like, urging her to come help them protect Dad and all of that, and she really could care less, but they end up basically kind of bribing her into helping them. And the reason she says yes is she has a disabled child that she needs money to help support her. Not that they're helping with this at all, not that they care. So it's very interesting because the family is very rich and she really doesn't want anything to do with them, but she goes back home when she gets a wedding invitation for her father's marriage to this 28-year-old nurse. And basically comes back and learns that this nurse takes no shit, and she's very sneaky and very sly about things. So I'm honestly very excited about this book. I have started it. The Kindle edition says that it's 336 pages. My physical edition's like 200 and some odd, so I don't know what's happening. But, oh my gosh, so far, I really like it. It's a very quick read, very easy read. I might read some tonight, or I might just save it for tomorrow and read it on my lunch break. Because I do go to work tomorrow. But, yeah, so that is a lot of fun. And on the other side, writing, update. I had to change one of my characters. She's no longer a lawyer because I have realized I have no interest in writing a lawyer. And I hate that I'm changing this, but I am going to be changing it. I'm still keeping a lot of the rest of the story the same, but just her job is slightly different. We'll see what happens. But I have ideas, and I think it'll work out. But yes, so I'm excited. Did write a little bit in a different book in my romance series, which was interesting. I haven't written in this one in a while, but I wrote 1,277 words in the first book in the series. So there we go. I will take that. I haven't done that in a while. So yeah. But yesterday, John and I kind of came up with an idea for a short story that I might try and write next month. I do want to get into writing short stories just because I know that it's a good exercise as well as they can be very fun. But yeah, so that's really my updates. I read over some of my old fan fictions today because I was feeling nostalgic, and I hate the fact that I got to a certain point and then I just stopped, so none of the stories are completed. They're just like, they reach a certain point and I stopped. It's like, oh, that's it. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, I gotta work on that, but that's okay. So that's what it is. And that's my update for now. I'm tired. I don't know. That's what I got. I don't know. I will talk to you guys later.
Button there, and that's see REC, and you hit it again.
Oh no!
I knew it!
Go cut the ones on the side.
It worked.
The important part.
Hello! So, as you can see, a lot happened this weekend that I did not expect. I'm now engaged. Didn't expect that to happen this weekend. But yeah, so I haven't updated because it's now the 29th, it's Tuesday. I kind of still wrapping my head around it, honestly. Yeah, but it's a thing now. So that happened. I did get like we did decide to put it up too. So yeah. Yeah. So that's a thing. This is actually editing. This is my first time going back and watching through a lot of the footage. So yeah. Enjoy how awkward I am, I guess. I don't know. I didn't expect it at all, honestly. I really didn't. But I'm very excited and I'm very happy. So that happened. I'm so proud of him though. Like that's what the amount of work that he put into this proposal is just it's astounding to me. I don't know. I don't know what I expected or anything like that. I didn't really have expectations. So it's so different, but it's I tried to film a clip on Sunday reacting to it, and I just couldn't do it. I didn't have words or anything, and then yesterday I didn't have words either, so this is me trying to have words. It's not really working, but I tried, and I'm just so yes. But I have updates. Other than this, I have updates. I shouldn't say the funniest part. The unfortunate part is that John ended up making himself sick because he got so nervous about doing this that he actually made himself sick, and so he was sick the last 2 days. Because of all of this. So yeah. And we did figure out what happened with the contraption he built. Because it was very windy that day, there were supposed to be balloons that were supposed to pop up that when I cut the string it brought down the sign and then balloons would pop up. unfortunately, the rope, the balloons, and everything we're tied to got all twisted around, and it prevented anything from happening. So that's why that looks kind of weird, and I take no negative comments from this. Thank you very much. But I'm very excited. Yeah, so yeah. So that happened. That's the thing. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna go into my other updates that I have, which just seem smaller, but still important and still good. One thing that I did was I did manage to write almost 3,000 words yesterday. I didn't write anything on Sunday, obviously. Nothing on Sunday. And I wrote a little bit on Saturday before this because I didn't know this was happening. So I wrote about 2,000 words on Saturday before the proposal. And then I wrote almost 3,000 words yesterday. Yeah, so my book is now up to almost 85,000 words. A long one. I did find a chapter as I'm going through rewriting a lot of this, or I'm going through and writing in order now. One of the chapters I do need to rewrite about half of it because it's in the wrong point of view. So that's going to be probably a project for at some point, maybe this week, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I also started a new book. I did start The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I am enjoying it so far. I'm only like 8 chapters in. I think it says like I'm a quarter of the way through the book. So I just finished part 1 of The Last Word. So technically I'm on what page am I on? Like 89, 88. I think it's alright. I think it's a good thriller. It annoys me a little bit because as an aspiring author, if I got a negative review, then you get a negative review. I get it's gonna hurt, it's gonna smart, but also this guy's averaging like 2 stars on all of his books. Dude, you should find a new hobby, unfortunately. But like, I don't know. So far, it's okay. I'm not impressed. It's really, so it's very much like a stalking story. So for those of you who don't know, this book follows a reviewer, what's her name? Emma Carpenter, who she is reading a bunch of books, and she ends up reading this one book, Murder on the Mountain or something like that, and she gives it a 1-star review, and the author begs her to take it down, and she refuses, saying she's allowed her opinion, which, in my opinion, she is, and he ends up doing some weird shit. Yeah, it's kind of, like, I don't know, I'm not surprised by a lot of the things, but I do have a couple suspicions. I'll finish it because I'm curious, but honestly, the author pisses me off. And it's authors like that piss me off, generally speaking, the ones who are self-righteous about, like, oh, you can't tell me that I can't do this. It's like, no, but they can tell you they don't enjoy it. So, was she harsh? Yes, but you know what? Some people are like that. It's the internet. People are mean. That's the way it goes. So, I don't know. But, yeah, so I guess this book just kind of is, it's not bad, it's just rubbing me the wrong way slightly. We'll see how it keeps going, what happens. She's got a cool, an older neighbor that's kind of fun, and she's got a dog. And she's got a tragic backstory. But yeah. So I'm reading it. We're getting there. We'll see what happens. But yeah. I'm gonna end the vlog here. I'm still computing. I'm still getting used to this. Yeah, we have a wedding that we're going to this upcoming weekend, so yeah, 4-day weekend, the readathon starts. Yeah, so things, I don't know. Alright, so that's what I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this this vlog that I wasn't expecting to have. It's not too long, but I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, keep reading, and keep moving forward. Bye.